You got a warrant.
Okay, for what?
Turn around.
Hello.
For manslaughter.
The Volusia County Sheriff's Office arresting 27-year-old KlLLER during a traffic stop on Friday.
They're taking me to jail for manslaughter.
KlLLER is accused of selling a fatal dose of heroin-laced fentanyl to a 29-year-old Osteen man in 2019.
This is not being broadcast. We're not going to go tell these people that she told us about what's going on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Crime Circus Cult. So my name is Drip Drop, and I'll be your host. As always, this woman was a dealer. She allegedly sold heroin laced with fentanyl to a custody, and that custody died. That's serious. That's just bad business. If you're selling something, it should be pure, organic, authentic, genuine. But a lot of people lack integrity in this world. Maybe she didn't even know. Maybe whoever sold it to her ripped her off. However, she is the one that was charged. Let's see if she gets feisty with these detectives. Let's jump right in and see what she has to say for herself.
My name's Sean McGuire. I'm a detective. That's my partner, Cordell. Obviously, you're in custody here, so, but I do have some questions I'd like to ask you in a minute, and I'm gonna let you. Did they already tell you that they give you your rights and read all that stuff to you yet? Okay. But I want to talk to you about something that happened back in May. Okay. So, really, with that said, before we go any further, you think you'll want to be talking with us today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
All right. What I'm going to do, just before we get started, I'm going to read this. You have the right to remain silent, and anything you say may be used as evidence against you. You have the right to talk to an attorney and have him with you now anytime during question. If you cannot afford an attorney, won't be appointed to represent you. If any time you wish to stop talking to an attorney present, all questions will be stopped at your request. Do you understand these rights? All right, with that in mind, you mind talking with us?
Is that recording?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just want to get a couple basic things from you first. I know that your first name is Kristen, correct? Mm-hmm. Kristen, what's your middle name?
Ann.
With two N's?
Mm-hmm.
With an E?
No.
Okay. And lower. What's your birthday, ma'am?
11/13/92. Today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What did it say?
They were not very slick about it.
No?
No, not at all. She was like, "Are you around?" And I was like, "Around for what?" Because I really think that, I don't know if it's you or narcotics or whatever, they think I sell drugs.
Well, see, that's what,
And I don't sell drugs. I'm a drug addict.
Okay, well, that's,
So I buy drugs, but I don't sell drugs. I really think that they think, like, hardcore that I, like, sell drugs and, you know what I mean? And they've got it, like, their whole picture is so wrong. Like,
Okay.
it really is. So I think that's amusing, first of all, because, I mean, she just wasn't very slick about it. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but she's like, "Oh yeah, Fred gave me your number, blah, blah, blah." And first of all, I don't know Fred. I don't know who Fred is. I don't know, you know what I mean? So I was like, I don't know who you're talking about. She's like, "Yeah, Carrie's girl." Well, the only Carrie that I know of, I haven't talked to her in like 5 years.
Who's that?
This girl, Carrie Boucher.
Okay.
I'm sure you guys know her.
Yeah, I know Carrie.
Or know of her at least, because she does.
I do know
She
Carrie.
does drugs, yeah. So I haven't talked to Carrie in like 5 years. So I was like, okay, well that was the wrong name to bring up. Like that was the last name you probably should have brought up, because right there that was a red flag. I don't like Carrie and I don't associate with her, you know. So I was like, right there, I was like, no. And then she was like she's like, "I just need one." I was like, "One what?" Like, she never told me what she wanted, nothing. Like, she could have been talking about a refrigerator for all I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, obviously, I know what she was talking about. And she's like, "Yeah, I just need one." And I'm like, okay, but you've got the wrong person. Like, I'm in the same boat as you. You know what I mean? Like, if you've got money, give it to me so I can go get high. You know? I don't sell drugs. And then she was like, "Oh, well, I have 140. So it went from needing one to 140.
Wow.
Thinking I would be like the desperate drug addict and like, "Oh yeah, let's go," you know, or I'll bring it to you or whatever. But I was like, "No, I don't know who you are." And she said her name was Sarah Williams. Obviously, I'm gonna look it up. The only Sarah Williams that was on Facebook doesn't live around here and isn't friends with any of our friends. You know what I mean? So that was another red flag. Like, she just didn't do it very good. I'm pretty sure it was a detective, but they just didn't do it very good. If they did, you know?
Yeah.
So.
That's an interesting story there. When was this? You said yesterday?
Yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of my questions might go into what you just said. But before we do, what is the highest level of education that you've been through?
10th grade.
Okay, so you can read and write the English language. You understand what we're saying today?
Yeah.
All right. And are you under the influence right now of any alcohol or drugs?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, let's go back to what you were just saying a second ago, if you don't mind. You said that you're a drug addict and you're not a drug dealer.
Mm-mm.
Okay. What are you addicted to?
Heroin.
All right. How long have you been addicted to heroin?
By 4 years.
Okay.
On and off.
And how old are you?
26.
Okay, so since your early 20s you started using. What brought that into your life?
You're gonna make me cry.
All right, well, if you don't, we don't need to go there
I just
then.
started out with pills. My mom went to prison, and she kind of got me into it.
Okay.
Which now, if you ask her, she'll be like, "No, that's not true." But you know, she used to party and like buy us alcohol and stuff like that. You know, when we were young, which was like, that's the cool mom. And then she got into like, you know, Xanax and stuff like that, and I just kind of followed along. So.
Okay. And Justin, is he your husband?
Yeah.
Like you are legally married?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you guys been married?
6 years.
All right. And is he addicted to drugs too? Heroin as well?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you guys
Stay off captain with a friend.
Okay. How long have you been over there?
It's like a month.
This is a CrimeCircus presentation.
Are you currently working right now?
No, he is.
Okay. What's he do?
Tile.
All right. Well, so we'll go with a couple of things. Do you know Fred? Do you know a Fred?
Yeah.
Okay. Because a second ago you said you didn't really know Fred.
Well, that's what I was telling you what I texted her.
Okay, I gotcha. Do you know what Fred's last name is?
Yeah.
What is it?
No.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
So then like an M.
Okay.
I know. I can picture it in my head, but I can't pronounce it.
Okay. I'm not gonna like spin your wheels and drag this out for really long. So what I'm gonna do is I want to ask you if you know who this guy is right there.
Yeah.
Do you know what his name is?
His name is Mike.
Okay. How do you know Mike?
He's friends with Fred.
Okay.
He's a struggling. Well, he was a struggling drug addict for
Okay.
a while.
When's the last time you think you talked to Mike?
I got him weed a couple times,
Okay.
and I don't know, like 2 weeks before he died, a week before he died.
Okay. So the last time you think you talked to Michael is
It was like a week before he died, I think.
okay. Do you know what day he died?
Friday or Saturday.
Yeah. It was actually the 25th of May. So what would that have been? You have your.
In the report, it said it was a Friday or Saturday.
I think it was a Saturday.
25th of May?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Saturday.
And I hadn't talked to him since I think like that Monday.
Okay. Well.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Because
I think.
keep in mind that it works kind of different when you talk to cops versus when you talk to friends or family members or whatever. We generally know a lot of the answers to the questions.
Yeah. Well, I know you
Before
guys
we
know,
ask them.
obviously. You have his picture and stuff.
So
And the thing too is, like you're trying to say, and I don't know you personally, okay? So I don't know the struggles you've been through and all that. You do know he overdosed, okay? So with that being said, we know who brought him, what killed him, okay? So we're looking at this as in two things, like, was it this drug dealer that brought him stuff that killed him, or was it someone that he knew that was a friend that maybe he trusted, and
Right.
isn't really a drug dealer themselves,
Right.
You know, so that's kind of what we're looking. We're trying to find out the answers to who or why this happened.
Yeah.
So
I know that he went through a couple different people. Do you guys know a kid named Jit?
I do know him.
You know what I'm talking about, right? He would bring him fentanyl.
Okay.
And I told Mike, you need to be careful because fentanyl, like I'm allergic to fentanyl personally, so I don't do fentanyl. So I told him, you need to be careful with this fentanyl. Well, guess what? Mike overdosed, and this was, I don't remember how long it was before he died. But do you guys know about the overdose?
I know when he overdosed, yes, ma'am.
The first time or whatever? And
In April?
right.
Okay.
Yeah, and because his grandma like Baker acted him or something right after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, you need to be careful messing with fentanyl and messing with certain people. And then
How do you know that the heroin that you do doesn't have fentanyl in it?
because I don't overdose and die. I'm allergic to
All
fentanyl.
it takes is once.
I've overdosed on fentanyl many times. So I
Well,
know.
we had another case recently. The guy straight up, it was what killed him. He didn't have any fentanyl. It was just heroin.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
heroin's
that's possible too, but
Yeah.
I'm personally just allergic to fentanyl.
okay. So you said Jit was the one that was responsible for that.
Yeah, and I told Mike, you need to be careful because fentanyl, you know what I mean? And he was like, oh, I didn't think it was that serious and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it is. It's really serious. So I had personally had a conversation with him about that. And then I know he got robbed a couple times from, once from Jit, and then somebody else that I don't know.
Okay.
So
Oh, well, I was thinking about it real quick. This phone number 386-204-1157. That's how long have you had that number?
for a while.
Okay. And does anybody, like any of your friends, use it? Use your phone and stuff, or do you use it all the time? Is it yours?
I mean, I've had people call people, you know,
Okay.
from my phone and stuff. Yeah.
But it is yours, and you've had it
Yeah.
for years. All right. But back to him. So you saying the last time that you saw him was about a week before, and you only brought him weed.
Well, I mean, I know. All right, I know you guys have text messages and stuff. So what? Can we go over those?
Yeah.
Because isn't that what we're gonna go over?
Yeah.
Because I believe it was about a week, but I don't want to say that and then look like a liar. You know what I mean? Because like that was months ago, so I don't know for a fact how long ago it was.
Okay. He died on May 25th. So we'll look at May 25th. See, there's a date.
Yep.
Okay. And this is how he has you. The phone number that I'm showing you right there, 386-204-1157.
Yeah.
That's your phone number, correct? Okay. So we'll go the content here in a minute, but if you see what this says that you sent him, well, actually he sent that one to you, but then you sent this one to him.
Yeah.
So that would not be a week before. That would be the day of.
That day, I came and picked up breathing machine medicine from him,
Okay. So
I believe.
do you want me to read all your messages to you?
I mean, I know most of them.
So how about this? So what were you going to his house for?
Well, can you read them to me?
Let me go back to where it starts. Okay. Because basically your whole conversation started the day before. So this is him to you. Okay, so I'll have the other funds in my account by midnight tonight or in the morning hours or so that I can get something. Would you be able to do a run around 1 a.m. or like before? Or so like before? I'm going for 140 again. If not, early tomorrow morning.
Okay. So what is your guys' hope for me to get out of this? That's what I want to know. So you guys
Well, what I hope for you
me
is
to turn in the person who has the heroin?
we got to go in steps at this point, okay?
Yeah.
So at steps is this. What happened that morning on the 25th?
I went and got breathing machine medicine because I don't think he was able to get the money.
Did you bring him, so directly, did you bring him heroin? Yeah.
Read that?
Did you bring him heroin
I never directly brought him heroin. No.
Okay, so you didn't go to his house with heroin
No.
on the 25th.
No. I've given him rides to go get stuff. I've never directly in my hand said, here it is. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I've brought him to the bank.
Okay, so let me just, we'll do another thing real quick. I'm being honest with you, okay? And I'm not trying to like pull any wool over your eyes or anything like that. Not only do we have the text messages, I have like his phone records, your phone records, and the locations where his phone is. And his uncle was outside, and he didn't leave the house that day.
Okay.
So I know you didn't bring him anywhere that day, okay? So we're on the right path. We know that you went there, and you're saying...
So the 25th was Saturday morning or Friday morning?
Saturday morning.
Because he did get in my car, he got in my car and left with me that day.
Not Saturday.
Yes, he did, because I specifically asked him, I said, where does your grandma think you're going? Mm-hmm. And he said, she thinks that I'm going to... It's
a different day because his grandma and them went to church that morning. They weren't home. You just pulled up, dropped it off, and you left. So listen, it goes back to what I said before.
This is a Crime Circus
I
presentation.
think he went with me.
Okay, well, I talked to his uncle. He was outside, and he saw Fred. He didn't go with... Or not Fred, but Michael. He didn't go. You pulled up, and you left quickly after that.
Okay.
So listen, it's what I told you earlier. Like, I'm looking for the dealer that would have provided him with what he had, okay?
Yeah.
You know, we already know that you brought and you came there with heroin. Okay, we know that. So now is, where did you get the heroin from that you brought to Michael?
Okay, so that was what I was asking you. That's
okay,
what you want out of this, right?
Well, I want the truth.
Dealer.
Yeah. I mean, of course. Like, I mean, who wouldn't? You know, I mean, you're a user, right?
Right.
Okay. So let me ask point blank: did you bring Michael heroin on the 25th of May at 8:30 in the morning when you went there?
But if I'm okay.
I'm being as direct as I can.
And I've never done this before. So my question is like, am I, like, do you want me to give you a name of a dealer or what?
A dealer? No. Okay, so here's what I want. What I want is to find out what happened. So I know, so let's say this. We have Michael here.
Because anytime that stuff has been brought to him, a dealer was with me.
Okay, so at 8:30 in the morning, you brought a dealer with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we have. So we have Michael, okay, and we have Kristen.
Yep.
Okay. Tell me if this is accurate. And then if we can add someone else in it, we will. So Kristen, on May 25th, goes to Michael's house with heroin. Okay, hold on. We'll get to the next part. But so Kristen goes to Michael's house with heroin on the 25th of May, correct?
Okay.
No, am I correct so far?
But
you brought somebody with you is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Who did you bring with you to Michael's house that day?
But I'm asking, if I tell you that, how does that benefit me?
Well,
you see what I'm saying? Like, are you wanting me to work with you to bring that person in?
Well, obviously, what I would like, honestly, what I would like is, yes, where you get your stuff from.
Okay.
And I'm not saying necessarily where you generally get it from. What I'm saying is that day, where did you get the stuff from that you guys brought to Michael's house? That's what I want. I'm not worried about what you did the day before.
Okay.
I'm not worried about what you did the week before or after that. What I want to know is that day, who was with you when you guys went to Michael's house and brought him the dope that he ultimately took and he died from?
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I've never done this before, so I don't know how this works.
Okay.
So if I tell you his name, will that incriminate me? Like, am I going to have to stand up in court and say that this person is the one who gave him the drugs? Will that person know that I told you? That's what I'm asking you.
To be honest with you, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen because a person died. I mean, it's not like it was a drug deal where just like a regular drug deal, you know, where we could probably keep that out of there. But I mean,
Yeah.
ultimately, somebody lost their life that day. And so I think worrying about, and this is my perspective, I can't say how you should feel or how you should think, and I'm not going to do that, but how I would feel is this: if I'm sitting in a chair myself knowing that somebody overdosed from stuff that I brought them, I would feel that it'd be okay in my mind, and I'm talking about myself because I can't obviously say you, that I would rather be able to look at that person who actually was responsible for this, and instead of keep it to myself, because you know, that's how I would feel. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and
I wouldn't.
absolutely. I know who it was. I know exactly who it was, and you guys do too. But I'm gonna have to stand up in court. And what about?
Says this: if I can prove, not just because anybody says, "Oh, this guy did it," so if we can prove, we can sit down and prove who actually was with you, who brought the stuff. He's not going to have the opportunity to come after your family, because what happens is, how we're looking at this, and by the time it comes out is in his court date, most likely.
He has warrants out for his arrest right now, anyways.
We're not going to go to this person. We're not going to take what you tell us and run over to him and be like, "Hey, guess what Kristen told us?"
Yeah.
And then ask him if it's true or not, and let him.
Because the only people that know about how this works right now is going to be us three, my boss, and the prosecutors that I'm going to be working with. So when you leave here and you go to jail on your paraphernalia charge and you bond out, if anybody finds out after that, that's on you. Yeah. We're not going to go telling people any of this. My ultimate goal is to find out who is responsible for his death. And right now, in my eyes and from the evidence that I have, it's you.
Yeah.
Okay? So the only way we can get past it being you is assistance from you. Yeah. So it's ultimately up to you on what you want to do here.
Like, we don't know your story. We don't know what you have to say. We don't know the truth of what your involvement is in all of this until you tell us. Okay? We're smart. We can put pieces of the puzzle together. It doesn't mean we're going to have the
just
whole
like
picture.
him. So when Mike gives me money and I go get something, we split it down the middle. So if I don't, you see what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying I'm not a drug dealer. Like, I don't profit $140. No, I get half of whatever he gets. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a drug addict too. Like, that could have been me. You know what I mean? It just so happened that it was him, not me that day.
And let me ask you, okay?
And I know exactly who it was.
You think your family would want us to try and do something about that?
Yeah.
We got a problem in Deltona. We got a problem in Florida. We got a countrywide problem with this heroin shit, okay? And it's killing people. You know Melanie? Okay. You know what's going on with her? There's a difference between people like you
and people like her.
Yeah.
Because she's a monster. That's basically what she is. Because I worked those cases.
Yeah.
That's ours. You're different from what I see and what my partner here sees.
I only get drugs to keep myself from being sick.
Right.
I don't give him drugs to go pay my bills, or, you know what I mean? Like you said, like Melanie, like, she does it from strictly profit.
Right.
That's not what I do. I sit there and do the drugs with him. You know what I mean?
And I'm sure because you're not a monster, I hope not. I'm sure if you knew that he was gonna die from the drugs that he took that day, you wouldn't have gotten it for him.
Absolutely not.
Right. But there's other people who, regardless of if they knew that was gonna happen, they'd sell them the drugs anyway, like Melanie. Okay, or others
the
like
person that was with me that gave it to him, and I know his dealer that he gets it from. I personally know both of them, and I buy from personally both of them.
So let's start with step one. You said on that morning you did not go alone. Okay? Who went with you that day?
Chris Watson.
Okay. And how well do you know Chris Watson?
Pretty well.
How long have you known him?
A couple months.
Okay.
our locker.
Would he be like someone that you hang out with? Okay, so if I put a picture of him in front of you, you'd be able to identify him. Okay. So we'll go back in the steps because I'm just trying to keep it simple here. Where did you pick up Chris that morning? Or does he live with you?
No.
Okay.
From his sister's house.
Okay. Where does his sister live?
She did live at that time off of Goodrich.
Okay. Goodrich?
You guys know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Okay, so I'm going to go back and
I don't know Chris.
Yeah,
Wilson.
and
He
so
really does.
I personally don't. So what my job is we work in homicide, okay? But I also am the one that does like the overdose deaths, like cases like Melanie,
Yeah.
and things like that. So I don't really get to know who all the drug dealers are until it's time for cases like this. So I don't know who he is. Maybe if I saw a picture, I probably would.
Does he go by his nickname, street name?
Red.
Red. Okay, so you picked him off of Goodrich. What time do you think that morning that you picked him up?
This is a Crime Circus presentation.
It was probably early.
So I'll give you a time frame. You were at Michael's house at 8:30. The reason I'm telling you that is because you said it in the text
It was probably. I said what in the text?
that you were there.
What? 8:30?
Yeah. No, hold on. I think we got our pages all confused.
Sorry. I wasn't on top of whatever.
Yeah, okay. So hold on. Yeah. So 15, 16.
So probably about 7.
Okay. Yeah, so you sent him a message,
Yeah.
8:30, saying that you were there. So you picked him up about 7. Where'd you guys go from there?
From where?
From picking him up? Chris, when you picked Chris up on Goodrich, where'd you guys go? Because you guys started talking that morning, roughly.
It was early. I know.
Because, I mean, I know that he sent me messages where he's saying, like, I'll meet you down the road because he's trying to hide it from
Yeah.
his grandma. And his uncle saw your car come in today, and he recognized it as a car that he saw Michael meet you at the end of the road
Yeah.
before. Let's see. You guys started talking that morning at 7:28. So, because you texted him, so what's up? Because you guys were waiting for his money to come through.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's it? So it's 7:30. When you started texting him, so we'll use that as a time reference. When you started texting him, were you already with Chris?
Honestly, I was probably with Chris that whole entire night
Okay.
because I've driven him around to do sticks.
Oh, so like breaking into houses?
No.
Oh, sticks his customers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
like I
Yeah.
take him to
Yeah.
a place and he does.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not the drug dealer. Like I may drive a drug dealer around because I get my high off of that, or you know what I mean, whatever. But by no means do I go to the supplier and buy it. And
Okay.
or
Does
any-
he not have a car?
Is he profiting much off of this? Okay. You don't know his financial situation.
I mean, like I said, I know who he is, and I know who the two main people that he gets it from
Okay.
that are
All right. So let's say.
profiting majorly from it.
Okay, so we'll do, like I said, steps here. So Chris was with you. You may have been with him all night. Does Justin wonder where you're at and stuff most of these?
He's with me.
Oh, he is with you.
Hmm.
Was he with you that morning too?
I want to say he was at work.
Yeah, because I don't think he was either. I think you're being honest there.
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to say he was at work, and that's probably why I picked up Chris so early. Is because Justin gets dropped off at work at like 6:37, and then I would go get Chris. And
Okay.
you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say that he was at work.
When you left Michael's house, do you remember where you went? I know it's been a little bit, almost a month now, but do you remember where you went from Michael's house?
Probably back to his sister's.
Okay, and you
Or-
said Goodrich is that down off of Deltona?
Yeah, it's across. It's off of Saxon in Finland.
Saxon, Finland. Okay.
But she just moved, so she doesn't live there anymore.
That's
But that's
fine.
the house that they were at.
Did Chris have the same phone number back in May that he does now? It's the same phone number. Do you know it by heart?
Nope. It's on my phone.
Okay. I did see that you had a little pad. Do you know your code to get into it?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to tell me it?
No.
Okay. Just asking.
No.
All right.
I'm not going to derail your train of thought, am I?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Look, you really need to think about doing stuff that's going to help you and your family. All right. Now, I understand this Chris, maybe a friend of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But number one, he ain't that good of a friend if he's dealing you and your friend's heroin.
He's using
It's just
you.
feeding your addiction. Okay. It's not going to end well for you. Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the line, it's not going to end well for you. Okay. They're not helping you out. They're not doing your families any protecting. His fellow business partners is not going to get you there. Okay.
So
This is it, right now. It's kind of a come to Jesus moment for you. You understand this. These people, you don't owe them anything. I understand how you may be afraid of them. All right, that's completely understandable. But you don't owe them. You certainly don't owe them your life. You don't owe them your family's.
said when we like I said when we leave this room today and we're all done, nobody's gonna call Chris up and say, hey, guess what, we talked to Kristen, I want to verify some things. Okay,
Yeah.
By the time we talk to him, he's going to jail. Okay, and then when he goes to jail, he's not getting out. So that's how this is gonna hopefully work out. I mean, I can't sit here and tell you step by step how it's gonna be, but that's the ultimate plan. So it may take a minute, especially if we look to get where he gets it from, because ultimately we want to stop what's happening to people around here. And if we can stop the main person, that's our overall goal. I'm not here to look and arrest every addict, because that's going to get us nowhere, because addicts are replaced daily by someone new. Someone else is getting addicted to drugs. We want who is bringing the stuff into here, okay? So ultimately, what I don't want to sit here and charge you with his death, okay?
Yeah.
That's not my goal. My goal is to charge who is actually responsible for it.
Someone who's gonna kill again. I see what you're saying.
So where we're at is this. I'll go back to the phone numbers thing later, but I would like to get his phone number at least, because I do have your phone records, and I'd like to know which one it is so I can work off of that.
I show you.
Okay, so let's, unless you have something else, I was gonna go.
As far as you say you were with Chris that day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have proof that you were with Chris that day? What I mean, is you guys talking about it in text message, Facebook Messenger, any of that sort of thing, so that we
probably.
can.
Do you have just my phone record from that day? Not me and Mike's, just mine.
I have Mike, who he called and who he would have texted, and I have who you would have called and texted. I don't have your content of it. That's why I asked you if I'd be able to go into your phone.
But if you go on my phone, that was a month ago. That stuff's not going to still be there.
You deleted it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did you delete it?
I delete stuff all the time.
Why?
Because it gets too full.
Okay.
The only people I don't delete messages from is my husband, my mom, my grandma.
Could have been.
And that's about it. And my sponsor. Not really a sponsor anymore, but you know.
Yeah.
Those are the only 4 people that have been in my phone since the day that I've gotten that phone.
How about this?
That's what I was saying. If you have it on there, I can show you which
No,
number
okay,
it is.
so this right here is a text from when we.
Just me and Mike.
Yeah, because we downloaded Michael's phone,
Yeah.
and this is text messages from his phone. Your
Okay.
phone records are on my computer.
Okay.
I
I mean, I can get the number on my phone for you,
Okay.
but I'm not going to give you my phone and say, here, go through every little detail of my phone. You
Well,
know what I mean?
Okay.
Well,
That's
I understand how something like that can be kind of
Invading?
invading, embarrassing, worrisome. What are we gonna find? That sort of thing. but you gotta look at it from our perspective a little bit. That's you putting your best foot forward,
and we gotta
you being as cooperative
I
as
mean,
you
but I'm
possibly
telling
can be.
you,
And
those text messages aren't
Okay,
on there
but also
anymore.
let me say, if we can, you help us a little. If we can find some proof, some sort of communication maybe between you and Chris that day or something, we can use that instead of you telling us that you were with Chris. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's because it's evidence that we found.
and we need to prove.
We took it from you, okay? That's not you telling us. That's us taking evidence that shows that he was
The
there.
only text messages that I don't want you guys to look at or go through is from me and my husband.
Okay.
There's embarrassing stuff in
I
there, and
understand.
there's personal stuff in there.
Okay,
And
so
I'm not willing to
let's-
let you see that.
Let's just go forward for right now. We'll get with that stuff later. Did Chris, when he was with you, was he using his phone that morning?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Do you know who he was talking to?
This is a Crime Circus
A bunch of
presentation.
people.
Okay, well, if you can tell me one, because eventually, if you see I got your phone records, where do you think my next step's gonna go?
His.
Okay, so if you can maybe think of who he might have talked to that day, and then I can use that as a reference point. So on this day, and during the time she says she's with him, he talked to so and so.
Me, his nephew.
What's his nephew's name?
I don't know his first name, but I have his number.
Okay,
And that's who he gets stuff from.
okay, and who's his nephew?
I don't know his name.
Oh, you just
That's
have
what
his
I'm
phone
saying.
number.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
So Chris, so here's how the chain.
plug
Okay, Chris's plug. Where does he live?
in DeBerry.
Okay.
So another question before we keep going. How is this going to benefit me? Like, how does this help me?
Well, I can't. Okay, so here's how. And I'm trying to. We can't promise you things. Okay, so it's not like this. I can't say, hey, if you help me, I'll make sure you don't get this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to answer the question for you. Obviously, the best way is this. As I told you, the only facts that we know right now are you bringing drugs, heroin, to Michael and he overdosed. Okay, so what that is.
If you I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Basically, if you roadblock us there and don't give us any more, that's where the trail stops.
Yeah.
Right at you.
Okay.
And
That's not good for you. You understand?
in Florida, I mean that carries a hefty, hefty charge. So, and I'm not saying that to have you talk. This is all if you want to talk to us, and I'm not trying to force your hand, but you have to look at. If the ultimate question is how does it help myself, well, you would think the best thing to do, providing what we could to help where the stuff came from, would ultimately, help you out.
That's why I was saying you need to take yourself and your family into consideration, because when you got kids, everything that happens to you affects them.
Yeah.
And if you want to let this buck stop on your doorstep,
Yeah.
that's not going to help anybody out.
Yeah.
And if we can work on this case, maybe I can't charge Chris's nephew directly to this, but maybe I can get another case going where we can get him charged with something else and be gone a long time. You know what I mean? Like, these people don't need to be out there on the streets. That's what's, again, look at yourself. Chris doesn't have a car, but he sells drugs, so who does he bring with him?
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so if you're gone, when you get arrested, if you get arrested for this, he's just going to find somebody else to drive him around and do the same thing. And then then there's going to be another person that overdoses and another person.
So my question is, how do I help you with that?
Okay?
Like, I make a sale with him and he goes to jail, or what?
Well, what's going to happen is I have your phone number, which you're going to probably have to end up getting a new phone because I'm going to take your phone today when we leave here.
Why?
Well, obviously there's evidence that we're going to be interested in, okay? So we're going to have to hopefully stay in touch with each other.
So I'm gonna have to get a new phone and everything?
Well, or once I get a search warrant or I'm able to get into your phone sooner, if I don't know the passcode to get the evidence off I want, then I might be able to give it back to you.
When?
Well, I can't answer that. It's Friday. You know what I mean? I don't have someone that can dump a phone between now and Monday. But I mean, that would be the soonest way to get your phone back. But I'm not, again, that's all on you if you want to help us with like your passcode and all that stuff. I'm not making you do this. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're taking my husband's phone too?
I do. I have his phone. Because I have text messages from your husband to Michael too.
Yeah.
So I mean, and he went through your husband before too.
So what are you wanting out of me? That's my question.
Well, as much cooperation as you can. How about that?
Okay.
That's the blunt answer. So we know you.
Full cooperation. We would like that from you. We can't force it from you. We can't make you give it to us. We can't promise you anything for it. But we'd hope that you realize that you can help yourself by being as cooperative as possible.
So
And
what?
if it sounds like I'm dancing around things or whatever, the reason is it's because I don't want you to feel like I'm promising you
Yeah,
anything,
we-
and I'm not going to do that here today.
I understand.
But I'm telling you, when you leave, your charges are what you got stopped for today. Okay,
Yeah.
you're not picking up anything right now. We're still working on our case,
Yeah.
and so my whole thing is, again, as we've said, is we know it goes from Kristen to Michael, but now we're getting evidence from you that Chris was with Kristen, and they got it, and they brought it to Michael.
So what I'm asking you is,
Do you want us to use you to buy drugs? Is that what you're asking?
yeah,
Well, again, so
and
what?
to turn these people in.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, so we have steps, and I can't say, hey, when you get out of jail, we're gonna go do a drug buy. I don't know. We're dealing on a level of, it technically falls under the homicide statute. So we have to run things through our prosecutors and stuff and see how they would like us to work that. That may be a possibility. I mean, your full cooperation, or it might be just that I need you to identify this person and let us work our case off of that. I don't know. I can't give you like step by step on what I need. But what I would like to do, and my partner here is, we would like to know as high as we can go. And if that way, then we can start working our cases. And again, what's said in this room doesn't go out to all these other people like you think it might. Like, it's only going to go between us, our bosses, and the prosecutor in this case. We might have to tell some narcotics detectives maybe to help us out because we don't know these people or how to do things a certain way because we deal with death. So, we're kind of a little bit different. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about. When you go to jail, nobody at jail knows anything about our conversation. When you get out of jail, nobody knows anything about our conversation unless you tell them.
So, okay, so say I can't get bonded out of jail.
Okay.
Right? And I'm just sitting in jail. Am I gonna end up getting like some kind of first degree murder charge?
This is a Crime Circus presentation.
If you help us out, I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you that. But we're not at that point right now. So I think you're thinking too far ahead. So let's work on how we can prove that Chris was with you, because Chris is the drug dealer.
Yeah.
You are the drug user and a
Right.
drug addict, okay? So Chris used you according to what you're telling us so far, correct?
Yeah.
I'm not putting words in your mouth, am I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're thinking too far ahead on this. You're going to jail on paraphernalia charges, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're not anywhere done with our investigation. If I just said, okay, you know what? She's told us enough. Let's just stop it here. See you later, Kristen. We walked away. Then I understand. But I'm not worried. That's not what I want, okay? Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I just want to make sure that I'm not going to get charged for this because, like I said, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm not someone who.
Well, we need your cooperation to get past this step,
Yeah.
okay?
Right. And you keep saying that to us.
We have to get...
Look, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'll ask you straight out. Are you responsible for giving him the drugs that killed him? No, you're not. Okay, so you're telling somebody else is.
I did the same drugs he did that day.
You're telling me somebody else is responsible for giving him the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell us who, and help. Okay, and help us prove it. That's all we're asking you. Okay? Because if you are not responsible, if you didn't do the crime, you don't face the consequences, right? If you did do the crime, you do face the consequences. So you're saying somebody else did the crime, help us get past you to them. You get me? I don't want you to, if you don't deserve to, I don't want you to go to jail for this, you know? And neither does he.
You know, and that being said, I mean, I also don't want to sugarcoat it. There obviously is some consequences for everyone's actions in this, okay? Whether it's at the top or the bottom of the chain is two different things. Does that make sense as well? I mean, everybody played a part in this. He did too. He lost his life. I mean, you helped him out. There's going to be something that has to follow everybody that was involved in this, okay? The heaviest crime is going to be to who's ultimately responsible for this, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
So, if you want to help us, that's what we want to do. So we want to know how we can prove, number one, how we can prove Chris was with you. And then, after we establish that, what I would like to do is who Chris gets it from. Okay? And you're saying it's his nephew. And then a minute ago you said you also know who his nephew gets it from?
No, this is Chris.
Okay.
He is a drug dealer who hands out 20 bags or halves.
Okay.
This is his nephew.
He hangs out 20 bags or halves.
He's the one that gives you grams and grams and grams.
Okay. Do you know where, let me ask you this, do you know who the nephew gets it from?
No.
Okay, so who else does Chris get it from? Because you said there's two people.
This guy named Lowe in Orange City.
Angelo?
No, he's black with dreads. His name's Lowe.
Okay.
L-O-W.
Yeah, I've heard that guy before. Did he used to own a business? Okay.
His mom lives off of Thorpe, and he just got his own apartment behind the Valero.
Valero in...
Orange City.
Okay. Alright, so we'll look at these people in a minute. Permanent behind. So what I want you to think of here is how can we go back to proving Chris was with you that day? So you said, do you specifically remember Chris called his nephew when you guys were riding around?
Yeah, because that's who he gets it from. He has to re-up from him.
Okay, so did Chris already have his stuff that morning when you guys went to Michael's house? Okay. All right. So, but you do know that on his way over there while you guys were riding around, he was with you and he made a call to his nephew. Okay. Do you remember who else he might have called?
I'm sure there was people that called him for drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what I mean is this, like,
Who he specifically called?
Yeah, so that way you can say that you knew that he was with you. 'Cause, you know what I mean? So like if Cordell and I were riding around and I know he called the boss while we were riding around.
Yeah.
And then you could look at my phone record, you know, or he said that I called my boss, and they look at my phone record, it shows I called the boss. You know, then he's telling the
It was a Saturday.
early morning.
He might. I hooked him up with one of my friends. Her name's Jamie, so that might have been another person he called.
Okay.
Aunt, Timmy, like these are all people that he talks to, like sticks that he does on a regular basis. You know what I
But
mean?
nothing that stuck out in your mind.
I mean, not like you know.
Okay, but he was 100% without a doubt, he was with you that morning.
Yeah.
When you went to Michael's house, Chris was with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris Watson, is it Christopher or Chris?
I think it's Christopher.
Anything that you can think of about him?
Can you describe him to us?
He's got gold teeth on the bottom.
How old is he?
Late 30s.
Okay.
White male, black male? Hispanic?
White.
White guy? Okay.
Yeah.
Hair?
No.
Bald?
Yeah.
Okay.
Facial hair?
A little bit, like right here.
Where's Chris living now? Do you know?
He's just bouncing around. He's got trafficking charges and warrants and stuff right now, though.
Okay. So if I go, I'm gonna step out in a minute. If I make a photo lineup, you'd be able to identify him.
I mean, yeah, I can Google him and show you really quick.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
need a lineup.
Well,
yeah.
no, but we have to follow certain procedures and stuff. If I did that, would you be able to identify him? Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go do that.
Can I smoke?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have cigarettes?
Yeah, he has them.
Okay. Yeah, we'll step out and smoke.
Okay.
And we'll do.
I'll give you my password, but can I call my mom?
Yeah, you can call your mom.
Can I just tell her what I'm doing?
Yeah, you can call your mom.
I just
What
wanna
do
call
you
my
want to
mom.
do first? Smoke?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go smoke while we go do this, okay?
Okay.
You want to go outside with Circus Dave's out there and I'll work on this? Can you just go this way? You go left. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, if she can pull up a photo of him on her own, she can do
Yeah,
that
no, let's just,
if you want.
yeah.
If you don't find him, then I'll put
Okay.
a note on.
Alright, I'll meet you back there.
Just go to the Volusia County Jail and they find him. And that's what I was asking him, like, where.
This is a Crime Circus presentation.
So, like, if I help you guys with the case and stuff, like, what happens with me?
I don't know. I
You
couldn't
know
tell
what I
you.
mean?
I couldn't tell you. Obviously, you're involved. But you can be involved to the least degree, or you can be involved to the greatest degree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's something for the lawyers to hash out. All our job is just to find out the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you're a bad person. I don't think I believe you when you say that you're an addict and you look for ways to get it.
Right.
Right. You share it with friends. If you were dealing it, supplying half of Deltona,
Yeah.
it'd be a different issue.
Right. And I'm not. Whatever they buy, they give me half of. You know what I mean? So I just get high off of their benefit. They're just the ones with the money.
Right.
It just so happened that he was, you know, the one that benefited that day. Well, benefited me, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not from dying or anything. I mean, it sucks. Like, I don't, you know, I didn't wish this. I didn't give it to him in hopes that he would die or, you know. Like, if I could take his place, I would. That sucks, but I didn't do it to kill him, you know?
I got you. I don't think anybody thinks that.
Yeah.
Does Chris know that he died? Did he have anything to say about that? Not really.
No. Really?
Did Chris really know him? Like, were they friends?
No.
No.
He sold to him a couple times. I mean, he sold to him multiple times, you know?
Mm.
But he had other people that he went through, too.
Okay.
It wasn't just me and him, you know?
Well, what made him decide to come to you that day? You know?
I was probably the only person that answered the phone.
What was up with this breathing machine?
I have
Thing.
asthma,
Oh.
and he was going to give me an inhaler.
Oh, okay.
And that was the whole purpose of going over there that morning. And then, well, you know what I mean? And then,
That kind of got tagged onto it.
yeah. About 6 months.
What you used to do?
A server.
Where at?
We were living in Citrus County.
Oh, I'm from there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Beef O'Brady's and Stump Knockers is where I was working.
So, some knockers. Okay.
In Inverness.
I didn't know there was a Beef O'Brady's there.
It's in Christopher.
I grew up in Lecanto. I lived on 491. I went to Lecanto High.
Yeah, we were living off of Rock Crusher
Okay. I know where that is.
with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law.
How long did you live there for?
Like 9 months, and then we moved back.
9 months too long. There's nothing to do there.
Nothing. That's why we moved back, but we should have never moved back.
Where's the drug scene there? It's about the same. Is it about the same?
It's
I
mostly,
don't know how it is over there.
It's mostly meth out there.
Okay.
I mean, I found some heroin out there after being there for,
But it's not as easy to find.
not at all.
Hmm.
But it took me working in the restaurant business to find it. But, I mean, it's out there. It's just difficult to find. They do meth out there, and I'm not into that.
It seems like in the really like rural places, that's what they do.
Yeah, it's bad.
So you moved back, and why aren't you working now?
Just getting high. It's hard to work and get high.
I can imagine.
So,
You're 26?
mm-hmm.
You still got a chance. My cousin is well, to put it lightly, she's a junkie.
Yeah.
And we grew up together when we were little kids. I had 2 girl cousins, and they were like my closest friends, and I was the closest with this one. And she moved up to Sebring when we were teenagers. She got in with the wrong people, and she's just went downhill. It's such a sad thing to see.
Yeah.
She's
Sorry.
yeah.
Good.
Oh no, you were just talking bullshit.
So, I can't give you a photo lineup because I'm familiar with the case or whatnot, so to see. So we're gonna step out for a second.
Oh.
Basically, he's gonna show you a photo lineup, and if you see red in the photo lineup, he's gonna read the instructions. I want you to circle the number that's underneath him and put your initials, okay?
Can I just read that and then have her
Yeah.
sign?
Yeah. Here, I'll you go in there. Read this to her, and then have her. If she says if she can click this one, which one it is, and then that's it. And then you have to sign down there and date it, okay?
That's cool. Hi. You again. All right. So this is. Dave pretty much just explained everything to you. I gotta read this to you, so give me your undivided attention, please. You'll be asked to view a group of photos, individuals. The person of interest may or may not be among the persons in the identification procedure. You should not feel compelled to make an identification. It is just as important to clear innocent persons from suspicion as it is to identify the correct guilty parties. The photos, individuals, will be shown to you simultaneously in a group and are not in any particular order. Take as much time as you need to examine the photos or individuals. Individuals presented in the group may not appear exactly as they did on the date of the incident because features such as head and facial hair are subject to change. If you do identify someone, I will have you designate the photographed person you have identified and note your exact words regarding your identification.
Okay.
Regardless of whether an identification is made, the investigation will continue. Since this case is an ongoing criminal investigation, you should not discuss the identification procedures or results. Do you understand everything I just said to you?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Here is your picture. For the record, you have identified number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On here it says, I have selected photo number blank as, just fill that out for me. Check there, the bottom one right there.
Where?
This one right here.
Check it?
Yep. And then brief synopsis or whatever.
Write his name?
Yeah, that's fine.
My signature?
No, that'll be me. Alright. Thank you for your time.
So you want to call your mom?
Yeah.
Don't we delete anything?
Oh no. My phone's gonna die.
What percentage is it?
15.
No, you'll be fine.
This is a Crime Circus presentation.
Hi. I'm talking to detectives.
Why?
How do I explain it to her?
So what happened? Would you like me to talk to her?
No. I gave, the guy Chris a ride, to bring drugs to somebody, and the kid overdosed and died.
So are you, oh my God, Kristen. Jesus Christ.
So I'm talking to detectives so that they know whose drugs it was and where it came from and stuff like that.
Are you gonna be charged in it?
Securus, this is,
It's probably
it's my
Justin.
husband.
Yeah.
Can I answer it?
You're talking to your mom right now.
Can I call you right back, Mom? Hold on.
You can talk to her.
Yes, please do.
Alright, I'll call you back.
Alright, bye.
Hello?
This is a free call from an inmate at
He's
the
gonna be
Volusia
so
County Division of Corrections.
You don't have to tell them right now.
Subject to recording and monitoring. To accept
Again,
this free call,
the only people that know now is your
press
mom
one.
and additionally to.
Thank you for using Circus. You may start the conversation now. Hello?
You're on speakerphone, just so you know.
What's up?
I'm talking to detectives about the Mike case.
What about it?
I mean, what happened?
You alright?
Yeah. Yeah, I had to tell them some stuff.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Because if not, it's gonna fall back on us. You know?
Yeah.
So I told him the truth. He buys drugs and we split whatever he gets, and I told him who brought it to him that morning. Just so you know. Okay? What?
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna want to talk to him?
Maybe eventually. I don't have to right now.
Okay. Have you tried? Well, they're taking our phones as evidence. Just so you know. What?
I don't have my mom's number.
You don't have anyone's number? Alright, well, I'll write down numbers before I leave. Alright, but I'm on the phone with my mom, so.
Are you going to jail?
Yeah.
What's your mom's phone number so I can call her so she can get hold of my mom? What about Katie's number?
I don't have all that, babe. I can't sit on the phone. I gotta call my mom. I was allowed to call my mom and I was allowed to answer it because you called. Hold on.
I love you.
Here,
I love you.
I love you. I'm gonna call my mom.
Sorry.
Alright, bye.
I love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye. I took that better than I thought. I'm gonna be all write numbers down, right?
Yeah, I'll only write a couple down.
Hello?
Hey.
Okay. So what did they? So what's gonna happen?
He's here. He can talk to you.
Who's he?
The detective,
McGuire, yeah.
Detective McGuire.
Okay, but what do they do? I mean, are they charging you with anything?
Today we're not charging her with anything, ma'am. She got arrested for, I think, paraphernalia. She had some stuff in her car, but with what she told you about Mike,
Right.
at this exact moment today, no. And I can't tell you if she will or what she would be charged with. We're still working on our case. So that's about as extent of what I can really tell you.
Right.
Obviously, we're understanding a little bit more about this now that that Kristen may not be an actual drug dealer and she's more of an addict than anything. We still have to verify all that stuff, and that's what we're trying to work on right now. Not necessarily that she's an addict, but that she was, who she might have been with that day. So that's what we're working on now before she goes out to jail on her other charges.
Okay. So she's got a paraphernalia charge from today, and then do you know what? And driving on a suspended license, obviously. But what are the other charges?
That's it.
That's all she's gonna leave here on today. We're still working on her case. I mean, that's what I mean. That's all I can really tell you. We're not giving her any new charges like from this interview by any means. Not today, anyways. But I can't tell you, as I've been explaining to her, I can't tell her promises. I can't tell her, she cooperates, she'll get like nothing. I can't tell her if she doesn't cooperate, she'll get the book. I can only.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus, this is the second second time she's been, done this with the drugs. Right. This doesn't. You're not helping yourself, Kristen, at all.
I understand.
Somebody else. She was with somebody else then they overdosed.
No. I was with somebody who got arrested.
Oh, Christian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which he already knows that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know a lot about you.
Assuming you know of me. Yeah.
Which is bad. She needs help. She really does.
Okay.
She honestly needs help.
Well, again, if I have my choice of arresting Kristen or a drug dealer for the death of Michael, obviously, the drug dealer is who I would want.
I know that.
But I also told her though, so that she's all full understanding that every action causes a reaction, and the consequences still have to be paid whether or not you just drove someone around or not. It's possibly, and but there's things that nobody's getting off. I would believe nobody will be getting off scot-free by any means, or there will be something that someone has to answer to. But that's what we're trying to. And I can't make those promises. I'm just a detective. That's on the state attorney's office and all them.
Yeah, I know.
But what we're trying to finish up here with, and then she'll be out there, is just kind of the little circle of life here.
She'll be going back to jail, though. Yeah, she'll go to county tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
She'll have first appearance in the morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No,
It's Saturday, so you'll still have it.
It's at 8:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just want you guys to understand something I've told her too. One last thing. Whatever's been discussed in this room, and now that you guys are fully aware of it though too, is this is not being broadcast. We're not going to go tell these people that she told us about what's going on. We would like to actually work our case. So
no, you don't have to worry about that here. I don't associate with anybody that she associates with.
I just want to let you know that, and I told her this too when she's here talking to us. This is not we're not going to run out and go tell this guy, hey, Kristen told us this. So just so we're all on the same page, this is all between all of us, and that's it.
Okay.
Well, he's only saying that because, my worry was if this person finds out that I told, then what about you guys? You know what I mean? I don't want you guys to get hurt because in the line of fire,
I've worried about that for a while, Kristen. And I'm 70 years old. I don't need to worry about this anymore.
So, all right. Well, I'm gonna let her get. She knows your phone number. We're gonna actually get though, so we can finish this up and she can get out to the jail and you guys can work on either getting her bonded out or see her at first appearance tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see her at first appearance.
Okay.
First appearance tomorrow. She knows that she's not being bonded out tonight.
Okay.
She needs to sit for a little bit.
Okay. That's your guys' thing, and we'll let you guys deal with that. But what's the nephew's phone number?
See, this is what I was saying. Once my messages get too full, I start deleting them. This was that number that texted me yesterday I was telling you about.
Okay.
I don't know if that was you guys or who, you know what I mean? I don't know.
This is a CrimeCircus presentation.
The only messages I really don't want you guys going through is my husband's.
Okay.
I mean, and that's just because there's just personal embarrassing stuff in there. And we've been married for 6 years. I mean,
Okay.
you know, there's stuff you text your significant other that you don't want
seen
people
it all.
knowing about.
You don't know how.
There you go.
You don't get how many phones we end up having to go through. We've seen it all.
If you don't mind, it's up to you. Will you draw your password for me? Or how we can get into it? Did I put enough note lines in there? Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yep, that's right. All right. Is there anything else that you can think of that we may have not covered here today?
Oh, let me see. There's Lowe's number.
If it's in there, we'll get it.
Yeah, this is another person.
LOW.
Yeah. There's two, so it's low 2. 407.
Okay.
942 6464.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you can think of? All right. Listen again. Oh, what's your mom's number? Yeah, but you got to do it. You know what I mean?
And they make it so hard and so expensive that, you know what I mean? It's not easy to just go and detox. You know, I can't afford to go to a Suboxone clinic, so paying $300 to go to a Suboxone clinic or buying a $20 Suboxone off the street or a $20 heroin bag that'll make me feel instantly better. Which one would you choose? You know what I mean?
I can't say because I've never been in your shoes. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like that's and I'm not gonna act like I have. I don't know. All I know is that.
Just as an example, what is like the lesser charge of all this?
I can't sit here and say I don't know. There's all kinds of things that could be played out. There's too many scenarios for us to sit here and say, well, if this happens, we could do this, or if this and that. What happens on my end is nothing right now with you and I. I'm gonna go back to who I'm working my case with, my prosecutors, and let them know where we're at and see what they feel and where they feel which direction we should go. Again, I'm not speaking for the state attorney's office. I'm only speaking for myself and I believe my partner here. Any chance we can get to get the dealer for this is the path we want. We don't, as you said, the easy path would be just to stop right here.
Right.
But that's not where we want. We know that you're not the drug dealer, okay? So we want the drug dealer, so we're gonna do everything we can. But what I can't tell you that what's the least and what's the most.
Yeah.
So the point from here is just if we call you and like say, hey, we're gonna try. You know what? We need to get in touch with you.
Yeah.
The best bet would be to try to answer the phone or get back to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay. And obviously we can't make you get back to us either, so I want you to understand that. What you do when you leave here, it's totally up to you. I'm not telling you when you leave here you have to answer, you have to do this, you have to think what's best for you.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I definitely don't want to get in trouble for something that, I mean, I'm not saying, you know, I understand what you're saying about consequences and stuff like that, you know, but I only did it to get high. I didn't do it with the intent of, like I told him, you know, I didn't do it with the intent of, oh, I'm gonna make money off this, or I hope that he overdoses, or I know that this is good shit, he will, you know what I mean? Like,
So
I just didn't
what
wanna
we're gonna have to do is
detox.
this.
You know what I mean?
The next step and the best thing we're gonna have to work on is proving Chris was with you that day. Okay, so that's what we're gonna have to work on.
Okay.
Maybe if you're willing, is to think of how you want to help us prove that. Okay, so that's what we gotta have to do. I'm obviously gonna try to do what I did with you, get his records, and see if it matches up.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna tell you my whole strategy. I can't tell you everything. You know what I mean? But what you need to do is, one thing I'd say is I would keep your mouth shut to people outside your family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially because you said, you know, you don't want anyone to know. So
Yeah.
I would, but it's on you, okay?
Yeah.
We're not going to
No,
go tell
I'm not
people.
gonna tell anybody.
We're not either. So we're going to bring you out to the deputy, and he's going to bring you out on those charges that we talked about. All right?
Yeah, all you can do is make yourself look good.
Yeah.
You know, the involvement in all of this makes you look bad.
Yeah.
Now, cooperating, doing everything you can makes you look good.
Okay.
So does Chris, though, is he living in Deltona?
Yeah.
He's still bouncing around in there, though, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, had this guy not pulled me over when he did, you probably would have caught him with.
So you were going to get him?
What?
You were going to get him?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they would have waited another 30 minutes, they would have got a lot more than they did.
Who?
You guys.
Are you good right now? I'm gonna go shut everything off. All right, we're done. So whenever you're done, when she's done smoking, she'll go out to the jail. That's phone numbers for her.
That's cool.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you for your help.
Thank you for watching this presentation. I know audio isn't for everyone, but it's all the same to me. Sometimes I even prefer the audio ones personally. Sometimes the video quality is just garbage, and then the audio is better anyways. You like audiobooks? You're in the right place. You like audio interrogations? You are in the right place. If you like hanging out with friends and family and me, you're in the right place. An update on this case, this woman was sentenced to... There you have it. Be safe, stay off drugs, give hugs, and until next time, remember to stay safe out there because you know it's a dangerous world.